It just bit them in the ass, didn't it?
Oh, totally. They're a team to watch for, and it's good. It's a good tournament when these little minnow teams, everything was a talk prior to last night, was Uruguay.
Yeah.
Knocking out of Fiji, which was a huge upset and a surprise to many. And then the host nation come along and do it to one of the big guys. It doesn't get any bigger than a minnow team beating the All Blacks. It'll get big. It wasn't getting bigger than Japan, but yeah, mate. Yeah. Oh, you gotta love it. I love it when the minnow teams and the underdogs win.
Who doesn't though? Who doesn't love it? I mean, like, it was just unbelievable. It was, at least to me, Ra.
They won't be that cheap.
Yeah, I thought it was just another unreal game from the Japanese, especially happening in Asia. And this is going to be just a huge game for the Asians who are watching this. Who were watching that game last night, hey, Ra?
Oh, yeah, bro, I tell you, look, as Reen said, fucking bloody social media was blowing up. I've never seen every second or third post was going on about the Japanese and the Japanese, how they kind of, took the Irish on and the real David Goliath type epic battle, and, for good reason. I think the captain's Kiwi, a former Kiwi, and the coach is Jamie Joseph, I think. So, you've got that New Zealand connection there, Māori connection, Kiwi connection. So, no wonder, fans here in Aotearoa, they were just cutting loose with their comments and pretty rapt that, that little Japan, wealthy Japan, of course, beat the big boys of rugby, and definitely good for the game, as I made mention. But there was talk also about the Asian qualifying team. Apparently, how hard it is for countries from there to actually make the cut in the world in the world champs tournaments. So they'll have to look at that. If Japan's an example of what's coming out of that part of the world. Look, I'll tell you, another team that's unknown at this stage, but you give them a few more years, and I think the growth of the women's game in their country is China. 1 billion plus people, can't be wrong. You're bound to pick some good sides from that amount of people, even though their player base is a lot smaller. But given the success of Japan, a lot of the smaller Asian countries will be thinking, heck, we can beat the big, taller, European, Polynesian type players and beat them well. So definitely a good sign for rugby globally.
Michael Leach, who's the captain, I think he came off the bench, if I remember correctly. Areno, he must be seen as a god over in Japan. Just the way that he carries himself, and without a doubt, the respect that not just the Japanese players, but the Japanese people would take with Michael Leach. I mean, he's just unreal, I believe. What do you reckon, Reno?
I couldn't agree much more, Keithy. You pretty well nailed that all on the head there. He is like a god to them over there, and he is a damn good player. Unfortunately, back here in our country, when he was playing for the Chiefs as such, there was just so many good number 8s around. He just couldn't break it into our black jersey, but he's gone over there. And, mate, this guy, Michael Leach, is going to be a coach of the Japanese team.
Yeah.
And the high regards I think Japanese rugby have in him, it's huge. He's going to be worth a fortune over there. He'll have his whānau set up, So, what he delivers on the field, around the field, the mana, the respect he brings to the individual players, he's a class act. And it's good to see the Japanese recognise him for that, because it was tough times for him, especially with the injury he had here when he was playing for the Chiefs, and he's turned his whole career around. And look at this, he can celebrate. You think of Japanese rugby, think of Jamie Joseph, who's gone over there to coach this team. He came back not so long ago with a whānau Tangi, I think it was, back in our country, and Tony Brown had to continue the opening game, I think, against Russia. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, but the Asia, like Ra talked about, the Asian part of rugby is building. The Chinese girls, I remember watching them come over. I remember the Chinese girls come over and play in our secondary comp as well as part of the tournament. There is some good little players out there, and the money is huge.
Yeah, I think, when you talk about Jamie Joseph, I mean, you've really got it spot on. I think he is a really good coach, to be quite honest. He must be one hell of a great coach, because I'll tell you what, he's just done a heck of a lot, quite frankly. Anyway, I better answer this from our man JT, because JT, if we didn't know, he messaged me not so long ago, telling me that he had to take off and take a shit, and he'd decided that he wouldn't tell anybody else. But he messaged me that he was going to take a shit, and out of respect, he decided that he wouldn't want to share the sound effects, even though we probably did want to hear the sound effects.
Well,
My man
when
was
you
shit.
said that, Keithy, you should have messaged back, go and get fact. Go and get fact, JT.
Well, I
Well,
said,
it was one of my better ones anyway. So it's one of those ones where you say, geez, how did that
Jeez, we're going to sell it all the way from here, JT. Jeez. Some
no, it's fucking rotten rura, boys.
I didn't eat one of those Roosters, did you? No.
No, fucking hell. No one did.
Well, anyway, we were talking Michael Leach, just an unbelievable captain, Ra.
Oh, yeah, Keithy, in fact, resemblance to you is uncanny. I thought he might have been one of the leaks from out Whangarā there, one of the whānau.
Okay.
But, look, I'll tell you, he'll definitely, he'll definitely be looking back on the Kiwi rugby selectors and thinking, you guys can go and get fact now. I'm doing well with Japan and probably Jamie Joseph too. That's saying good players don't make a good coach as well. That's starting to sort of rear its sort of head a bit, and look, hopefully the Japanese can sort of go the distance and secure a few more wins. Easier said than done. Usually get these fluke kind of victories out of the blue. Not too sure who they're up against next, but they might not be able to repeat the stunning upset over the Irish.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's right. I was talking about Jamie Joseph as well. Such a good coach. He's coached the... I remember when he coached Wellington, and I can't believe that the Wellington Hurricanes didn't take him as a coach. They took that blimmin', what the hell was his name?
Hammett,
that fucking Mark Hammett.
Hammett.
I couldn't believe that they had Jamie Joseph there. Jamie Joseph also went on to coach the Māori team as well. Yeah. Did really well.
Now, let me butt in here, boys. You're going to be proud of me for this.
Okay.
I've read recently that Mark Hammett is a New Zealand schoolboys coach. Is that correct?
Probably.
Yeah, that's right.
Has he got something to do with Otago rugby?
More Canterbury.
This is the same dickhead.
But he's assistant coach down in Otago. Yeah.
Yes.
Hastings Boys High School won the national, whatever it is, top four.
School tournament.
And not one of their players made the New
Unbelievable.
Zealand schoolboys side.
I know.
How the fuck does that happen?
It's unbelievable. Just
Fucking
absolutely.
joke.
See, and this is the coach that the Wellington guys got to coach the Hurricanes. Mark Hammett, who isn't even taking any of the best players out of that Hawke's Bay team.
You never did like the cunt, did
No,
you?
I never liked him.
Say it.
I never did.
We're allowed to on the show now.
I know.
He's a fucking idiot, that guy, isn't
Of course well, I'm not saying he's an idiot, but I am saying he wasn't the right coach for the Hurricanes, obviously. And he's a crap coach, He's just shit, really. For this, I don't know. He's going to fuck things up for our schoolboys if he's part of the schoolboy management or coaching.
Sure he's one of the selectors and the coach.
Yes, unbelievable, really. It's unbelievable. How can you not pick?
I'll tell you, look, Jamie, I think Jamie was passed over by a certain sector of that rugby selection panel.
Absolutely, he was.
Because, I can see why they went with him, and he was with the successful Crusaders team. Well, Joseph played for lowly Otago.
Did Jamie Joseph have the wrong colour eyes?
Yes. The wrong coloured eyes. Wrong coloured everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And clowns.
He was the absolute wrong colour for the New Zealand Rugby Football Union at that particular time.
Oh, mate, I said, look, the sun shines out of Canterbury's arse, and everybody that plays
does.
for their team.
Yeah. Of course it does.
Look at us.
Hey, I've gone from speaking good French to speaking real French.
Real French. What I mean. Anyway, so I'm just so...
This fucking Canterbury thing you're talking about, Al.
It's a good fact moment.
Look, you got fact.
Go get fact, eh? Go get fact.
You got fact, all right. Anyway, I'm just so happy for Jamie Joseph. I mean, Because I know Eddie Jones in their last World Cup, he was really put on a high pedestal after that win. And they still talk about it now. I mean, we'll be talking about it forever, I think, about how Japan went and beat South Africa. And then, of course, last night they go and beat Ireland. We'll be talking about that for quite some time too, probably. What do you reckon, Reno?
Oh, totally. Look, host nation, it's all about what the Japs done against South Africa 4 years ago. It's right there in front of the South Africans' motel. Yep. They can't get away from it. So it's just a friendly reminder, 4 years' time, mate, in Paris, it's going to be reminded against the Irish up around their region as well. So good on Japanese. They've done really well, mate, and yeah, gotta love it, eh? So yeah, no, it's something we'll be talking about for years. Look, we go back and they bring up bloody JK's try.
Yes.
And that was the inaugural event, 87.
Yes.
So, it doesn't matter. 20, 30, 40 years, you'll be still talking about the Japanese and the team that knocked over some big boys in rugby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it'll be around. It'll be history, mate. It's just we got to teach some of these younger ones to realise what it is, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, but I'm just...
Jamie Joseph, mate. The old racist card got thrown in there. I'll leave it at that point. They need to look at the treaty.
Look at the treaty. Brilliant. Because you got to think, this is what I'm thinking in my head anyway. That obviously is what played a huge part. I mean, fucking Mark Hammond. What the fuck? And you got Jamie Joseph right there. I mean, I just couldn't believe that they, went straight past him, went for Mark Hammond. And when Mark Hammond came on the scene, oh boy, I was just absolutely livid.
Wasn't Mark Hammond a hooker, bro? There's your answer.
He was, bro. Maybe that's what it was, eh? Maybe that's what it was. Anyway, just awesome stuff. Rugby World Cup, it's been, that's just a real shock, isn't it, Ra? Especially the Ireland game.
Oh yeah, but a good shock though, Keith. I mean,
you
need those upset wins, and without them, the tournament, will be predictable, and the big countries game will be steamrolling over all the little minnows. So, but I'll tell you, it sort of breaks the mold a bit, and and they talk about it for years to come, and you still hear about the South African and Japanese one, I think. So, it is that David and Goliath kind of scenario, and everybody likes it. Doesn't matter if you like rugby or not. It's the big guys getting beaten by the little fellas, kicking them up the arse where it hurts, and that's exactly what the Japanese did. And the movies are made of that.
I know. Who knows?
Unfortunately, the David at Whakarua Park yesterday still got a hiding.
Oh, true that. They did indeed get another hiding.
Oh, not a hiding. They lost by 2 points, 21-19. So that's close enough. Give them a bonus fucking win.
Yeah, fair enough. One of the things that you would have enjoyed, though, was the Mustangs there, eh? The Manatuki Mustangs, JT. Of course, they're the rugby league champions.
I was sitting next to a friend of mine, Simon Conn. He was the stepfather of Nate Miller, the guy who unfortunately got killed in.
Yes.
They're over for the rugby league, the Masters rugby league tournament. So I was sitting next to him having a chat, and I was getting updates from Tony Barbrich and a couple of other people there at the game.
Yeah.
And good win. I was actually part of the first Mustang side way back in 1993, I think it was.
Wow.
And so it's a very long time between them and some form of success. Yes, it's not a normal competition in the sense that it goes for a year, but due to circumstances of player numbers and I guess the social drift of people away from the area, it's still a win. And for the boys to get that stay was marvellous. And I had phone calls from Danny Jones, Morris Wharahinga, they're all original players. Even Bill Jones come across from Pirates for a year.
Right.
So it was really, really heartwarming to see the boys get the win yesterday. And against the Whalers, the Whalers have been there, done that for such a long time. And, they use their catch call of theirs, we are. Well, they still are. The Whalers will always be the Whalers.
Yeah.
But, good for them, for the Manatuki Mustangs and for the club.
No, absolutely. Great win, actually. I didn't realise that you were part of the Manatuki Mustangs way back in those days, and I do remember seeing you posting up a